Look who the first one's from. I thought he died.
I knew you'd say that. Good
Did
morning,
ya?
everyone. Yes. Welcome, Victoria. I'm going to
To another
personally
exciting episode of Feel It
welcome
Real Fun on our
yo.
17th of September 2021.
I just shared this to the Stop Dicking Around group.
Really?
Yes.
Good on ya. Your manifesting questions answered live.
And to
Hey,
the
Matt.
Imaginarium. Where else can I?
Yes, so go to freeneville.com.
Yeah, 221 email list and
Pseudo-random goodness.
Random goodness.
Join our 90-day adventure at manifestingmasterycourse.com. 90 days, half a donut.
Yeah.
Cheap ass cup of coffee. Rob Beck.
You notice we really focus on getting rid of excuses. Like, seriously. like. And then there's Rob Begg that just tells them, like, tell them about the benefits. It's like, oh, yeah, benefits, man. Oh, look, my dog's eating my dog.
Hello, you guys. And for refunds, visit our YouTube channel, feelitrealfun.com.
I thought Kadra was saying she's 73 tomorrow. So Cindy
Cindy
is 73 tomorrow. Let's sing her happy birthday tomorrow. Ready?
Okay.
Happy birthday tomorrow. Happy birthday tomorrow.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday
to Cindy tomorrow.
tomorrow. Which is today here.
Is it?
Oh, think about it. She's still living in yesterday over there.
Is she still in
So,
yesterday?
happy birthday
today.
to you. Tony Doyle, yo. Boom.
Hello.
Alrighty, so everyone, welcome to another exciting episode.
I don't know if I did for refunds, but just in case
just
I did.
in
For
case.
refunds, visit our YouTube channel, feelitrealfun.com.
That is the rightness everyone said
Okay.
it shall
So
prevail.
Tony Doyle, Kadra, Valerie, Cindy,
Mustang,
I'm
Sally.
still in yesterday, Olive, and Shanita.
We
Hello.
got a lot of really good questions today, except for one.
You decide.
Yeah, you guys get to vote.
Hello, Stella Jim. Cool. Excellent.
Alrighty,
So will we dive in?
let's do that. Except there's a post right now on the Law of Attraction by Neville Goddard group where somebody said something about not being able to say that they're God. And there's some really good advice in there. And there's some totally batshit crazy stuff. And I'm just pointing it out because obviously some of those people have never heard of Neville Goddard. Right? So they're I think,
That's all they've heard.
Yeah, all they've heard. They're like
He's
blind
never
followers
got
of
it.
the Never Goddard.
Yeah, I
Never
used to
Goddard, yo, Triple D, Jess, too. All right, so Victoria.
Yes.
Sis.
Okay, so the first question is from Omar. Methodical manifesting.
All right, Methodical.
Yes.
Yo,
And
Lisa,
Omar
Triple
asks,
D, Valerie.
I'm very methodical and square-headed when it comes to Neville. How can I change states? That to me is a very general question, and part of it is that I don't know sometimes when I've changed my mood and when I've changed states. Now that I think about it, the 15-minute sessions I feel is a good way to start as far as changing states. On the other hand, Neville says that each thought must be an investment. So now I'm aware of what I'm thinking every moment. And the best way I've found to be more aware of what I'm thinking is by repeating all the sessions that I've created over and over during my day. I'm not sure if I'm addressing your question properly, though.
All righty.
Sounds very methodical.
Sounds very mechanical.
As Omar said, he's very methodical and square-headed.
I'm going to say mechanical. By the way, that's a state. Now here's the thing. So all the time people tell me things like, "Well, Mr. 20, but this is the state I live in. I don't live in the state that you're telling me about." Like radio. So
This is the state. I'm
Yeah.
not living in the state you're telling me
yeah,
about.
you're telling me about. It's like but I've never been married. How I'd imagine I'm married because I've always been single. That kind of thing.
Right.
Now here's the thing. There's a couple ways, quote unquote, around that, and here's one of them. You didn't need to do a 15-minute session on repeat methodically to answer the question. All right, you either imagine getting an answer that would confuse you, or an answer you could argue with, an answer that made sense. You imagined something and it made your fingers move. You didn't need to do 15-minute methodical session 3 times a day, 17 minutes after the hour.
Yeah.
Whenever I hear the word methodical, and I tend to almost always go, this person wants it to be mechanical. It's not mechanical, it's surrender. And here's the thing, it's sort of like kissing. right? Like, if a girl wants to teach a guy how to kiss, and she gives him like a list of qualities, right? Let's see how that for the fuck goes.
Yeah, right.
Right? Versus like, let me kiss you. Just notice how this feels. Let's play a little bit. And suddenly you're surrendering to a different experience instead of the old, like, wham and slam.
After 15 seconds, you then need to do this. No,
Yeah, exactly. The tongue has to go left, then right, and in a spiral, then a circle, never in the other direction, right?
Yeah.
Or order. But I think the main thing that I want to point out is don't get stuck in the mechanics. It's sort of like you learn how to draw the letter A. They taught me in Catholic school, you do this, and you do this. Heaven forbid you do this, right? You do it out of order, the nuns just go nuts, right? Note to self, do the letter A wrong, right? Just when they're walking past, making sure you're not cheating, do the letter A like that. They just spin right the fuck out because they're too mechanical, right? Now we're going to do some candid stuff. Ready? Victoria, am I methodical? On a scale from 1 to 10.
Well, I don't know. I mean, you start your day, you have, well, I don't know if it's methodical or routine. Like, you have certain things that you do every morning. Like, you get up, you make your coffee.
Yeah, you got a specific way. I make the coffee, specific order I do things in. What you would call
methodical?
I'd call it methodical.
Yeah, okay.
I think I'm pretty methodical. I've got routines, strategies, all that good stuff. But the thing is, don't try to make it a method mechanical.
Yeah.
Okay? A method just is just like, all right, like I don't have to rub her toes to kiss her first, but she may kiss me after I rub her toes.
It's a method like that works for me. That's like something like you might have worked out different, and that one, not you necessarily, but what I'm saying is, although it is for you, but like for him or people, you can use methods to benefit you, or they can be your friggin', do you know what I mean? Like
everyone's
cross.
Everyone's methodical.
Yeah.
Even people who don't think they are, they've got a very predictable way of being unpredictable. Right? At least they think they're unpredictable. You can sit back and go, watch them fucking go. Right? 7 minutes later, they'll get to stage 1. Right? But I'd drop the need to be mechanical. That's just an identity. Because you're having wins all day long without this mechanical stuff. But notice how this weaves into the next questions.
I reckon it's also just like mathematical. Like, we've got all these M words, so you'll love that.
I love M words.
No, with your, what's it called?
Alliteration.
There's
a lot of alliteration
but
in my
like
nation.
because it's like methodical. I'm square-headed. It's like maths. 15-minute sessions, that's maths. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah,
it's
totally.
like it sounds almost mathematical, the way it's like, so then I'll do this. Yeah, so I thought that was cool.
Totally with you. Before trigonometry, there was triangles. But more on that shortly.
Okay,
Here, ready?
cool.
Dr. Brian, yo. Triple DDD, Dr. Brian. I've been wanting to say that. Triple DDD, Dr. Brian. Get it? How cool is that?
No.
All right, let's keep
Well,
going.
there's D's.
Yeah,
and then
triple
DR.
D, Dr. Brian.
Okay.
All right.
Cool.
Let me get my water.
All right, so that's
Stella
for
Jim, yo.
Omar. Thank you very much for your question, Omar. The next question's for Rick via email.
Yo.
Manifesting money, $2,000 or $2,000 a month. Hello, Mr. 2020. I'm 71 and I'm retired in Texas. I don't want a job. I want $2,000 a month over and beyond Social Security to just drop in my lap every month. Is that freaking possible?
No, so I already answered this one on a podcast. I loved this one. And I told him, I said, dude, I loved it. Made a podcast out of it.
Yeah. And
I'm going to actually do it on the show too. Why? Because I want to.
Yeah.
Right? Because I'm very methodical. Right. So, ready? DDD, Tony Oil. Tony Doyle. All right. So, here's the cool thing, right? So, I am always concerned when people tell me about every day my business makes $10,000. I'm like, all right, cool, good for you. And then, like, I can guarantee at some point I get the email like, Mr. 20, yesterday we made $9,992.32.
Yeah,
I am a failure. Yeah, and once that happened, I could never get back on my horse. And it's like, right, what the fuck do you really want?
Yeah.
Right? Now here's the thing. We all know the thing about the shagging buddy. Who remembers that?
Yeah, I
Hashtag.
remember.
See, she loves the whole shagging
Friends with
buddy
benefits,
thing.
someone
Yeah.
used to say
That's
ages
right.
ago
Absolutely.
on the show,
Yeah,
FWB, and I was like, what's FWB?
You're my
Friends
friend.
with benefits.
You're my friend.
Am I?
Yes, you're my best friend.
Oh. Right.
So yeah, I would suggest notice, what do you reckon $2,000 a month would give you? And imagine, what implies you have that. Would it be more free time, less worry about the mailman, not having to dress up like a commando and hide every time he comes, that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Been there, done that. But that whole thing of like, what would you lack? What would be different in your typical day? Give life to that, and don't doubt. Right? Don't doubt that, the whole thing with, like, the whole shagging buddy thing. The woman started feeling what she would feel, what she would experience if she were financially free. And then suddenly an old shagging buddy from the past, somebody who probably, has a lot less lead in that pencil now. It just goes, right, let me sit her up in a trust fund. You know what? Well, I trusted, she was fun. So, there you go.
And I love how the other lady then heard about that lady and just thought, maybe for me too.
Shagging buddy.
Something happened for her, so yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
Now, I know some of y'all have to revise and go back and I'm revising, having a couple really good shagging buddies. Right? That way the trust fund could come from somewhere. But you could get a trust fund. It could be $2,000 a month. Could be somehow like you get an upgrade. Like the whole thing of like, I'm imagining up money so I can fly first class around the world. Then you walk up and they give you a first grade upgrade for no reason. It's like, all right. So, anyway, that's where I learned how to spell with the nuns, the letter A. But shall we continue, Victoria?
Yeah.
All right.
Cool, excellent.
Darker, he drives a shaggin' wagon.
Does he? Shaggin' wagon. I drive a shaggin' wagon. Gosh. Okay. Go on, Mark. So that was for Rick. Thank you very much for your question, Rick.
That's right. I once had a Dodge, the new Dodge pickup truck, and I had a cap on the back, and in the back of the cap of the truck, I put my old mattress.
Cushions.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it was like, hoo-ha.
Candles. I can't imagine.
That's right.
Yeah. Okay, the next question's for Laura on Facebook. Manifesting health, overcoming conditions.
That's right. By the way, I'm going to interrupt for 1 second. Craig, the answer is yes. Go ahead. Oh, Craig asked a question. I figured I could just sneak it in. Yeah.
Okay. So Laura asks, just so I'm getting this right, if I'm wanting to meditate on perfect health, do I meditate as though I've always been healthy? Like I'm healthy just now, and I always was, and always will be. There was never a time in my life when I wasn't. I've got several conditions that I'm going to overcome, including some female problems and a skin condition called sebaceous hyperplasia.
Once in a while, I have a female problem, right? But I'm going to show you how to get rid of that too.
Than me. Diabetes is something I need out of my life, and I need to be healthy right now with no ailments whatsoever. Am I meditating like I've never had these conditions? I'm perfectly healthy and was and always will be. My doctor basically told me to live with them as they're all incurable.
I love doctors. I love doctors. Yeah. Like I have nothing against doctors. There's some cool ones. There's one I just had a call with that's absolutely lovely, and she knows who she is. But here's the thing. I find most doctors are incurable, right?
Like Dr. Brian.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
No, not Dr. Brian. He's not a real doctor.
No.
That's right. Now, don't you love that when people do the whole thing like,
not a real
so
doctor.
what kind of doctor are you? And if you're a linguist, that's one kind of doctor. If you're a gynecologist, that's another kind of doctor. Even though the two may almost rhyme, linguist, gynecologist. I mean, it may not rhyme, but they could rap. You know what I mean? And suddenly it's like anyway, it's all immaterial.
Yeah.
But manifesting health, most of that's immaterial, right? Here's the thing, right? I don't care what your doctor says. I know some great doctors. I know some shitheads that are doctors. I know some great cops. I know some shitheads that are cops, right? I used to be one of them. Yeah.
Which one?
Yeah, a cop. but I can play a doctor on TV, right? Yeah. Now here's what's fun. You imagine what implies. You experience, imagine what implies that you're healthy. Now here's the cool thing. You don't got to meditate on, see, when the word's like always, I got a booger. When the words like always, every, or never show up, I tend to notice people their cage gets rattled real easy, right? And it almost always happens that way, and they can almost never stay in the state because they're in always or never, never land. Versus like, right, how would your day be different? Right? Without your health problems, right? How would your day be different? Okay, what would you be doing? Right? Would you do a daily 5K run? Would you be playing out in the garden? What is it? And whenever you nail that, I mean, like if Victoria was feeling under the weather, and so I'd be imagining her like out in the garden, and me going, "Are you coming in for lunch?" Right?
Yeah.
Because some people go, "You have to always be positive to manifest what you want." I said, "Let me get this right. So you once were healthy, and you know what they say, so if you ever get negative, things can't change. So it's like, do I have to be positive so things change, or not be negative so things change, or never change so things don't change?" People get it all confusing and weird, but here's the thing. What would imply your wish is fulfilled? What would be different about your day? And you imagine having had done that. And that's it. I mean, I don't even have to imagine her in the garden. I can just imagine her fingernails being all like beat up and cruddy and full of mud. I can imagine lunch getting cold. It's like, man, your fingernails suck. Your lunch is cold. I'm having feminine problems.
A feminine meltdown.
Right? See, I'm having feminine problems.
Got ya.
Right?
Okay.
And probably the third thing is the sense of humor. Again, doctors tend to be serious. Again, there are some great doctors out there, and they're doing their job. But here's the big thing. Never accept as true what you don't want to have as true. Like, just don't do it. And the coolest doctors, by the way, are the ones that actually support this. And we have them. We have them in the family, right? Which is really cool. Because a good doctor, as far as I'm concerned, will be imagining health for you. Yeah, I love anomalies. So, the sizzle says never accept the facts. Here's the facts. You were given a diagnosis. You may or may not have a condition.
Yeah.
Right? You may have had it yesterday. You may have had it this morning. But as long as you anticipate waking up tomorrow with blood sugar problems or feminine problems or whatever, you're still going to have it. On the other hand, right, if you can imagine, what's it like to go to bed tired after a good walk or a romp in the garden or a frolic in the meadow? So in closing with this call, easymanifesting.com. Do those 7 lessons. Do not add anything in.
Yeah.
My guess is often with health, people go to like 1,000 different LOA sites and stuff.
Yeah.
And they add in all sorts of things. Yeah. Blue solar water with yellow sparklies in my aura.
Excuse me.
Right?
Yeah.
Like you don't need that. Just if you imagine what implies your wish has been fulfilled, boom. But more on that. So Frolic for Life says Jumpin' Joe Weldon.
Yeah.
Easymanifesting.com. Thank you, Sizzle. Look at that. Who believed he could type?
Good on you, Sizzler. Excellent.
By the way, one more. Let's get really practical. Y'all know what you know what I do for a living? I move my fingers in my mouth. Let's ask her, where's the money come from?
Yeah, fingers and mouth.
Fingers and mouth moving, right?
Yeah.
And so I woke up like one day, like 2-3 weeks ago, and my left hand was like, I found myself doing this. I'm like, why is it doing that? What is it attempting me? What is the communication it is giving me? And it's like, oh, the joints hurt. Oh, wow. They hurt pretty fucking bad. Not thrilled with this. Right? Now, here's the thing. I could just start imagining arthritic condition. No more typey. Have to talk to the machine. Right? By the way, if you ever look at when I talk to a machine and it says something wrong, I said, no, it's not what I fucking said. Right? And then that goes into the transcript too. Right?
Yeah.
It's horrible. Right? So it's like I could start imagining all the consequences of like, all right, it's going to keep getting worse and worse. And one day I'll type like Sizzle does. Just. By the way, Sizzle's probably like a 92 word. I'm going to try. I'm just fucking with you, pal. You know that? Yeah. Sizzle's a thumb typer, maybe. But that's what happens whenever the hands do this. But I don't imagine that. I imagine like 95 words a minute, which is how I type. So take and run with that. See, if I was worried about my hands, I'd be worried about my hands. I'd be worried about, like, I can't even, like, walk anymore because I can't even hold a stick or drive anymore because I can't hold a wheel. But on the other hand, I can experience, like, fuck, where the fuck is she for lunch, right? She's still out there. She's in the garden. So I'm imagining her healthy and happy and so on. And it's like she walks in and I go, oh my God, I got 3 more emails to answer. See, that's called typing like I type. So, Sizzle's writing a book.
Oh,
Cool.
wow. Good one, Sizzler.
Is it? Are you sketching it?
Writing my book today.
So you get it? Sketching it?
Sketching it.
Is it a comic book?
Colouring in.
Yes. It's horrible to be my friend. Anyway.
Excuse me.
Loogie.
So that was for Laura. Thank you very much for your question, Laura.
Stay tuned. We've got more coming.
Okay.
Tony, congrats.
The next question is from Leanne on Facebook. I am God. What is the ego?
By the way, this is good because we've got a couple God emails going on right now. So, boom.
Okay. And Leanne asks, is there a clip or YouTube to explain the whole I am God, I'm having a hard time, especially with working through past addiction, etc. So is that the ego? And our true nature is higher self? And lower self is the ego and addictions and hate and all that stuff?
Oh,
Yeah,
boy. All right.
Yeah.
Lots of concepts there. Here's what I'm
Yeah.
going to suggest. Ready? Play is the way. Just take what we teach. Take what Neville taught. Don't add in sticky tape or anything. And just notice play is the way. Here's what I want you to do. Right? Use the 3 main tools in the toolbox, Neville Goddard's toolbox.com. Right? Use the 3 main tools there and just go forth and play. Because something happens. You start to notice, you're right, imagination does lead reality. My awareness of being, how I'm aware of being, wow, right? The more you play, the more you're just gonna simply notice this whole thing, what you truly are. And you notice, I'm not even gonna use the word God. I'm not even gonna use the word ego right now. I just want you to get what you are leads. And then there's what follows. Just go play. The whole thing, the other post that I mentioned earlier, where it's like I'm having problems writing it down or saying it or whatever, it's like you don't got to say it. You know, here's the other side of the coin. I'm having problems saying I am God. Well, good. Right? Yeah, a lot of people, the Tony Robbins people, tell you to like get all amped up and all that crazy stuff. Here's what I want you to notice. When you eat pizza, you don't sit there and go, I'm eating pizza, I'm eating pizza, I'm eating pizza. I got slapped for that as a kid. I mean, you're eating food and your mouth is full and you're still talking and shit's coming out all over the place. You know what I mean? I got slapped when my mouth was full when I was eating, trying to talk. But on the other hand, if you're just eating, enjoying pizza, you know it. You feel it. And there's the big thing. The whole thing, if you want to explore who you are and how this works, stop dropping the need for terms. You know, there's like, how many genders are there now? I read there were like 42 or 43 genders.
Said something ridiculous. That's amazing.
So right, there's like officially 42 or 43 genders, and they're developing their own pronouns and stuff. I mean, this was a fascinating read. I mean, there's actually people writing about this, and it's like 42 or 43 genders based upon, like, they've got flow charts and trees, decision trees and things. And then there's the Olympics. They've got men's swimming and women's swimming. Right? So shouldn't they have 43 different classes of swimming now? I mean, I just get whacked in the head with all this extra stuff.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, if you just notice play is the way, you're what leads, just go play. Yeah, you can just walk away from all these terms. Like, this one pops up once in a while. Well, when that's your ego trying to manifest, this happens. And whenever it's your higher self trying to manifest, that happens. And it's like, right, which the fuck one of me wants anchovies on the pizza, right? So it's got to be the one that's not a vegetarian. So is a vegetarian a higher life form? And it just
yeah.
Walk away from all that. Just go play, and you get to discover your awareness of being is how you are aware of being determines. And there's like all that talk about Mormons and sex going on out there. Boom. So you guys have fun with all that. I know what Sizzle's doing. They call him Sizzle for a reason.
Oh, excellent. So that was for Leanne. Thank
Yes.
you very much for your question, Leanne.
Boom.
the next questions for Oliver in Manifesting Mastery, doubt and fear.
Fear.
Good to see you
I,
here, Oliver. Yes.
I doubt I got this exactly right.
You doubt you got it exactly right.
Yes, yeah, because I just sort of compiled it from his post.
Oh, okay. So Oliver says sometimes...
I fear I'm going to really screw it up or at least get you mad at me if I keep interrupting, so I'm going to stop now. Stop it.
Oliver says sometimes it's very hard to enter the scene and feel it real. Keep coming back to doubt and fear that it isn't happening. But if I enter the silence and come from a place of loving what's happening and feeling safe in my surrendering, kind of telling myself it's okay to feel what I want, then I can feel it real.
Cool. Sounds like...
Have I read it right for you?
Well, it was as right as you could get.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah, I doubt you could have done anything better.
I think I read it right.
Yes. All right. So we call the show Feel It Real Fun for a reason. Here's what I notice. Anytime you let it be fun, it becomes easy. Anytime you get serious, it becomes weird. Right? You ever watch like two people, if they're dating and they're having fun, it's easy. And on the other hand, if one of them is trying really hard, things get weird, right? So that's where I'd begin with all that stuff. The big thing, when I come from a place that's loving what's happening, I'm going to replace the word loving just for the sake of having fun with enjoying. Because what you are is love. And the more you explore what you truly enjoy, you're going to notice that there's less and less space for fear, for doubt, so on and so forth. And I think the big thing, and we'll be getting to this with Two-Time Tommy's question, is imagine what moves you. And that to me is really important, because when people talk about doubt and fear, and I notice when people are doubt and fear, they just sort of scrunch up and stay like still kind of thing, or that, or something like that. Versus if you imagine what engages you, just you move, right? And I'm just a fan, and that's a really fast barometer. See, I never look for signs. I just notice where I've been. So
interesting. A few of our questions are about doubting or fear, or like even the 71-year-old guy that said, is it possible?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, it's all around that.
By the way, there are these studies that talk about things like if you read a story about old people walking into the mall, and the older you get, the slower you go. The longer it takes for you to get to the mall, and even opening the door takes a while. And what happens whenever you read stuff like that, there are studies that show, I love studies. Well-done studies. So a well-done study, like one, and the other one has them, like reading about people that are doing parkour and crazy shit. And they find that people that read about people doing parkour, when it's like, okay, let's go to the next thing, they tend to get up and move quickly. The people that read about the old people moving really slower, as they get older, they get more confusing. Things happen to them all the time. It's like they get up and they're not even sure what the fuck's going on, right? They just sort of like stumble along, Yeah. But it's true. Countless studies on this, and it's fascinating. And so when I look at that right there, right? Now, I'm just going to go, this is going to be the crass commercial for Remarkable. Ready? Commentary about commentary about commentary about commentary. See, people, they're afraid about the loogie, they're afraid about the governments, they're afraid about the mask, they're afraid about the vax, they're afraid about someone not wearing it. It's utterly fascinating, right? And then there's commentary about, did you see what they said about the news that the political guy said about the other political guy? And it's commentary about commentary about commentary, and it's just less and less of people showing up, and more like data about data about data about data. Except for those two yuckleheads. And I mention that because when I look at doubt and fear and all that stuff, I don't have the fucking time for it. It's like, well, everyone else is going, well, I doubt the economy, I doubt we'll be out of lockdown by Christmas, I fear it's going to get worse. And even those that aren't talking about it, they're listening to it passively. See, I imagine people telling me, and imagine overhearing people talking about having great businesses and lives and getting fucked more. I mean, I walk at the dog park and a couple girls walk past, and I imagine them going, "Wow, I had sex 4 times last night." It's like, "Oh, I only had it 6." See, I imagine fun things instead of like, well, you know, maybe someday we'll get out of the loogie. It's like, how can you be so young and move so fucking slow? Right? And that's it. You know, like, I revise conversations as I hear them, and I also imagine things that move me. And I think there's the big thing. Because if you're not imagining something that has you move, you're waiting for something else to move. It's like waiting for the mask, waiting for the vax, waiting for the tax, waiting for the... We live in a whole culture full of waiting. But Remarkable starts the beginning of October. If you want information on that, contact me. So, let us continue. Olive.
Cool, excellent. All right, so that was for Olive. Thank you very much for your question.
And much, much more.
Yeah.
That's right.
The next question's for Kadra on Facebook. Manifesting properties.
Kadra.
And Kadra
Olive.
says, hello TT in Victoria. I was diving deeper and making property ownership about me. As a few of the properties are not ones I desire to live in, what other imaginal acts do you suggest for feeling it real? I already know my why, like space, gardening, renovations, off-street garage. I just don't see myself drinking beverages or hosting at every location.
Cool. So are these investment properties, or are these like escape villas or something? Like?
No, it sounds like it. Well, because the why is for space and gardening and renovations.
All right.
Well, actually, sorry. I guess you could still be investing. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I mean, like,
Yeah.
if like let's say you're married and it's like you're tired of putting up with his shit. Like, do you go to the other place and sleep overnight, or like, do you grow like the pot plants?
That's true,
like,
actually, because
at
property
the place
ownership.
that you don't live in.
Yeah, because she said it's all around property ownership, and so obviously you could have investment properties.
Yeah, totally.
Or you just want to be home. You just want to feel love, home.
Yeah. Do you have one in New York, California? See, I don't know. But there's going to be something where, like, if you're in New York and, like, let's say you've got a California house and a New York house, and you're like Victoria, you go shopping once in a while, and you go, oh, that would be wonderful in the New York house, or you go, oh, that would be wonderful in the California house, or whatever. You know what I mean? Or maybe you got an accountant, and your accountant like keeps track of all the dumb shit or whatever. But there's going to be something for you that works. Yeah, like, I think it's Manifest, maybe it's Affiliate Real Power Pack or something. Anyway, somewhere along the line, I mentioned the whole thing of, like, Yasmin Maxwell's here. Look at that.
Oh,
Look at
hello,
that. That's
Yasmin.
rare. Look, how you doing? Look, I got body hair. Thought of you. It's horrible being my friend.
Yeah.
Anyway, she's probably on silent, so she can't hear me. I like muck with her, mucking with Yasmin Maxwell. So, what works for you? There's going to be something that implies beach houses in Rhode Island and large spaces and garages. Cool. So, like, I mean, you could have what was that movie, that show, Breaking Bad? So you got your big and large space and garage where you have, where you cook, right? Say, like, you could just imagine, like, okay, so I got to get these supplies to where I cook, right? You could have your, you know what they are. Yeah. So, the biggest thing is have something that's, I know what I was going to say, but Yasmin Maxwell just popped in. That's right again. So you can't shut her up when she starts yakking. You know what I mean? Woman problems. So
Permanent problems.
yeah, so I mentioned one of the courses about the whole thing of, like, having like a dinner party or a picnic in the garden or something, and people think like I'm all sociable and shit. I'm not. Right? The best thing to happen to me was the loogie, right? Because it's like I don't have to tell people not to come over anymore. It's like they're not allowed to. So, like, whatever works for you is the whole thing. Like, what's the thing that implies to you that you got the house in Rhode Island as well? Did they deliver the shipment to their own fucking house? You know what I mean?
I forgot to change the delivery address from the billing address. You know how often, like when you
Right.
buy something, they go, "What's your billing address?" Yeah, this is who's buying it. And what's your shipping address? And if you forget to accidentally do that, if you own two houses, it'll just go to the wrong one.
Exactly. See, now here's the fun things, right?
Yeah.
So whenever you have that whole little thing that works for you, yeah, that's the fun thing. So you'll just you've done that. You've done it with old addresses. Cool, excellent. I mean, like, isn't it fun? I mean, you add it. You order like 2.5 tons of pseudoephedrine so you can cook, and you send it to the wrong place. You send it to the beach house instead of the place with the big garage. Who knows?
Storage facility.
Yeah, who knows what I'm talking about, right? Where's my pork pie hat? Anyway, alrighty.
Okay.
So I think we may have. Kadra says gold. Okay, apparently we've done something good, or at least somebody has. So.
Okay. Cool.
Alrighty.
Excellent. So that was for Kadra. Thank you. I don't think. Maybe you say the dra. I think it's just Kadra.
It's Kadra. She goes, now I'm on watch list. Thanks. Yeah. Well, you see, that's the cool thing with a name like yours. I mean, you could have like Special K, yo. I mean, that's your product, right?
Yeah.
Walter White, baby. That's right,
That's
Q.
right.
That's right.
Q, that's right. Walter White.
Nobody should ever watch this show expecting to be bored. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Alrighty.
Excellent. Thanks, Kadra, for your question.
Stretchy.
The next question's from Dream Driven Day Shanita, who I think I saw here as well.
Alrighty.
The Sabbath verse times, Joseph Goddard. Excuse me. Shanita asks, is it normal to no longer care about your manifestations? I do my Joseph Goddard and go on with my day, but I have this I don't care attitude.
Yeah, totally. See, here's the thing. So I imagined up a yummy show. I imagined up a goody podcast. I imagined up an Instagram thing today. And it's funny, even though I didn't think I'd have time for it, I actually had plenty of time for an Insta thing today. But once I nail it, it's not part of my mind anymore. Like this morning, I ordered not one but 2 coffee grinders, right? Because I've imagined being able to grind coffee.
Was it 2 or 3 even?
I ordered 2 this morning.
Oh, good.
Right.
Okay.
So
good.
I ordered 2 coffee grinders.
Okay.
Because I've imagined grinding coffee. But once I order the coffee grinders, I mean, they're no longer part of my mission. It's like, yep, mission done. Right? I'm waiting for the guy to come up and, beep, beep, roar, 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 roar. And then, we get our coffee grinders.
Gosh, excuse me, you guys.
Oh my God. You gotta stop smoking Special K before the show.
What's Special K?
Oh, it's what she makes with the pseudoephedrine.
Oh.
In her big garage on Rhode Island.
Okay. Got you.
It all magically weaves together at some point, doesn't
Special
it?
K's fault. All right.
Special K.
Yes.
All right, so what were we talking? Oh, yeah, the Sabbath. Yeah, so like once I order a pizza, once I order not 1 but 2 coffee grinders, right? Like they're no longer part of my mind until I go, right, like it'd be a great teaching thing, right? Ketamine, you can use that as well. Yeah, it all depends which formula you're using. Correct, Joe. So, yeah, that's good. Yep, I've imagined up a yummy lunch. It's really not going to bother me a whole bunch till we eat it.
Yeah.
So, Special K. Oh, is it actually a drug name? See, the things that I don't know. Oh, see, look at that. They call it, got it. Oh, see, I learn all sorts of new shit. See, I think I'm being clever. Special ketamine.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Excellent.
I had fun. So we can't call it Special K. We could just call
Special K out here is actually a breakfast cereal.
Oh, it is there too. That's why you always name shit after other shit.
Oh, okay.
So we could just call it the KD Yo.
Okay.
Yeah, I need me some KD Yo.
KD Yo.
Yeah.
Now you're sounding like Omar.
Yeah. I'm going to miss him.
Okay, excellent. So that was for Shanita. I think you're here, but yeah, thanks very much for your question.
That's right.
The next question's for Cortez on Facebook. Manifesting daily customers. Cortez asks, how do we imagine getting customers daily for a life insurance business?
Do you want daily customers or do you want a profit? Because here's my thing. So you imagine up daily customers, right? Now just watch. There's, we're going to think, one of the things we're going to explore in Remarkable is fragile versus anti-fragile manifesting. And here's something fragile. I'm imagining customers every day, loogie lockdown. For the next 32 days are going to be locked down. You're not going to have every day customers during lockdown, right? Things just get a little bit weird like that. But on the other hand, if you imagine that you've got a profitable business, I mean, like, you know what that means. How would you buy peanut butter or petrol if your business was profitable, if you kept rising in income, right? Suddenly, like, how and when the customers show up doesn't matter, because you can, like, let's say you need daily customers and you decide you want to take a month off. Your brain instantly goes to, what about the income? Right? Versus, right, what I'm imagining is income growth. I don't give a shit how and when the customers show up. Right? I may get one customer. Let's say it's Jumpin' Joe Weldon. Right? And as soon as I imagine Jumpin' Joe Weldon, and he says, I'm going to get the 10 fucking idiots that I know, I'm the 10 people I know that aren't fucking idiots to work with you. Suddenly I've got 11 customers. You get it? Versus like customer. See, I don't determine the hows, the whens, the so on. I just determine the direction I go in. And then, boom. That's right. Look at that. You guys are having a talk about ketamine out there. The shit that happens in the sideshow.
I know.
Boom.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I wouldn't bother worrying about daily customers. I mean, I suspect what you really want is a business that does that.
Great.
Yeah,
Well,
growth-oriented business. So.
Yeah, I mean, well, I actually was wondering when I read that whether, who knows, I mean, you might start selling other stuff as well. It's not just...
Yeah, exactly.
It's like you've conditioned it that it's life insurance, whereas it's like, who knows? I don't know.
I got life insurance licensed back in the 90s. Right? Yeah, the 90s were a busy era for me. I experienced the promise, got license to sell life insurance. I thought that might be fun and profitable. And then I discovered, God, you got to go fucking talk to people. You got to put on a tie. You got to put on a fucking tie. Then I got to say, well, Ken, what do you think? I mean, if you do die, what about your wife and family when I'm fucking homeless? And Ken says, I don't give a shit. I'm dead. Right? And it's like, good on you, pal. Then I realized, man, like, this is a lot of talking to people, and then we got to do paperwork, and then you have to submit it, and then when it comes back, you got to get signatures, and it's like, all this for a couple $100.
Yeah.
Right? Versus like, well, what if you started with life insurance and they started buying something else off the shelf over there?
Yeah.
You don't know what your upsells or side sales are. And again, you might love doing all the paperwork and wearing a tie and all that stuff. But again, what would imply that your business is doing great? How would you buy peanut butter or petrol differently? Right? Think about that. You can actually meet clients while buying peanut butter. Unless it's the Aldi's peanut butter. But anyway, Victoria.
What's that like?
The Aldi's peanut butter?
Yeah.
Oh, I only had one half of a mouthful of that.
And what? The jar went back on the shelf 2 years ago?
I gave it to Cube.
All right.
That's another story.
Okay, cool. Excellent. Okay, so...
Oh, look at that. Terry got a Series 7. I was going for 7. Or was it 6? It was either 7 and 70 or 6 and 63.
The BM?
No. I was going for the... to be licensed for mutual fund sales. But anyway. All right. Boomio.
Cool.
All right.
All right, so that was for Cortez. Thank you very much for your question, Cortez.
All right.
And the last question's for... Look, have they even bothered to show up again?
Two-time Tommy. Dunno.
Dream Driven Day Tommy, if you're not going to show up, we're not going to read your questions. Sorry.
That's right.
So, Dream Driven Day
Oh,
Tommy,
cool.
Stop imagining shit.
Sorry, Terry. I'm so with you. Yeah, I did whatever I did, Series 7 and 73 or 6 and 63, whatever it was. But man, I mean, I still got that shit going in my head. You know what I mean? Like, I'm that guy. But I mean, like, seriously, yeah, I started doing all that stuff, and it's like, man, I can't do this. I just, like, are you serious? But it's really good money. Yeah, it's good money. It makes me want to, boom. So, anyway. All right.
That's right, okay. So we'll start again. I see a few people calling out Tommy, which is ace.
Two-time Tommy.
And Brian said I slammed the door.
I
Right.
gotta wear a tie.
The last question's for Dream Driven Day. Tommy, stop imagining shit. And Tommy asks, how to stop imagining shit?
I'm sorry. We're gonna become a G-rated show now.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. I'm very sorry. I didn't notify you. So instead of the word shit, you have to use the word purple.
Okay.
All right.
How to stop imagining purple. 2020, I've been noticing so much how my mind is drawn to focusing on irrational fears and doubts and outcomes. It's fun that I notice, but goddamn 20, it's exhausting pruning. I just prefer to stop imagining purple.
All right. So you imagine yellow. Damn it. See, I'm a massive fan of revision, of pruning the vine, but I'm not a massive fan of doing it for more than, let's say, 4% of my day, if that. Right? It's probably more like a 20th of a fourth of a percent of my day. Somebody can sizzle.
Do the math.
Yeah, you're good at math.
Yes.
I love making people good at things. Maybe I should make Dr. Brian good at it too. Dr. Brian, you're good at maths, right? So, anyway, so this whole thing of like stop imagining shit. Imagine what moves you. Like imagine what moves you. I don't wait for anything. It doesn't mean I'm always doing something. Yeah, but it's just I don't wait for anything. Yeah, and God, there's a story I want to tell, but I don't want to say it. So let's wait until they change the lockdown rules.
All right.
But it really is that whole thing of like whenever you decide something, the movements that happen are fascinating. But my big thing is I imagine what moves me. Yeah, my first barometer is my body. So if I'm imagining and then feeling waiting, if I'm, it's the other way this works is I always bring up the postman. You know, if I'm imagining shit, the postman will terrify me. Right? Is our postman terrifying?
No, she's lovely.
First of all, it's a her.
She does a
right?
beep beep on her bike when she's got a little box.
Our postal people, see in America, they come like with AK-47s and Jeeps, right? They deliver the mail. They're fully armed. I mean, they're really fucking cool. Tap on their Kevlar, you know? But in Australia, they're on fucking mopeds, man. They dress them funny and they put them out on mopeds. I mean, it's like, what the fuck was that? I remember that. It's like, and like little Rowan tells me, that's the postie, Mr. 20. I says, what do you do? Fucking shoot at it when it goes by? It looks cute. It's like one of those little things at the carnival. It's like, I just want to throw something at it. And he's like, they bring our mail. He says, your mail doesn't come in an armored vehicle like ours? I'm like, amazing. But it's absolutely true. So this whole thing of imagine what moves you. Imagine what moves you. And me moving, and it's something as simple as when I see the postie, I go, oh, somebody sent me some money, maybe a card for no reason. Right? I mean, like, I just get excited, right? So I'm moved, like when I see the postie. On the other hand, like when Victoria comes home, I'm also moved, right? And it's not like that. Whatever you're imagining, imagine what moves you. She comes, and I can't wait to let the dogs go get her. And then by the time she gets in here, like I'm jumping up in the air with both legs and wrapping them around her, that kind of thing. She gets to brace herself. But imagine what moves you. Because if you're spending a lot of time pruning the vine and revising, you're just sitting there. I can guarantee it. But on the other hand, if you're imagining what moves you, right? I mean, I can't help it. I get up in the morning. I mean, like seriously, when I say when I'm dropping the kids off at the pool, I'm looking at messages like from Joe Weldon and Adelia and Sizzle. It's like when I write back to you guys and it's something I-5 in the morning, right? I'm dropping kids off at the pool. You just think about that. But I can't help it. I want to see. What is it? What did they write about to me today? Where the fuck is Tony Doyle? He's still in the California, right? Where the fuck is Tony Doyle? It's like, you know, imagine what moves you. Imagine what moves you. Imagine what moves you. Imagine what moves you to, go after that girl. Dropping a deuce, says Joe Weldon. I like that. That's very Pesci-ish. Dropping a deuce.
Excellent. Okay, there you go, Tommy. So that was for a dream-driven day, Tommy. Thank you very much for your question.
And notice how they all weave together and all that good stuff.
Every week.
That's
it's
right.
Amazing.
Yes.
Meanwhile, what we want to know is tell us what was your hashtag strawberry bit. And that my strawberry bit was that what you said right at the end there. Imagine what moves you.
Yep.
Yeah. That's a goodie.
You know, I noticed with Emmett, so we take Emmett out and see, the longer you're in lockdown in Australia, so that the longer you're in lockdown, the less you give a shit about all the other rules, right? Or about any of them, right? Yeah. And so we've got SWAT teams here devoted to if when a dog takes a dump, you have to you walk 90 feet off the trail back into the woods where it took a dump, pick it up, put it in a plastic bag, and put it in a bin to save the environment, right?
Yeah.
And so, except for now pretty much no one gives a shit anymore because we've all been masked up forever and all that dumb shit. And it's just fascinating because when Emmett takes a dump, he can't help but run crazy. Yeah, he's the happiest little fella, right? And I got to admit, after the morning after I'm done texting Tony Doyle and Joe Weldon and all my dear friends sizzle back, it's oh, I'm almost done now, right? I mean, I can't help it. I get up and dance too, right? So whenever you drop shit, right, you're going to probably find Emmett, you dance a lot more. So
good metaphor.
I've been waiting for that one for over 55 years.
Yeah.
When I started talking, I was like, oh my fucking God, I can't wait to tell that story.
Good one. Excellent.
Alrighty.
So, while you type in your hashtag strawberry bits, go to freeneville.com.
221, email this pseudo.
Random goodness. Join our 90-day adventure at manifestingmasterycourse.com.
It's a 90-day adventure, guys. That's right.
And for refunds, visit our YouTube channel, feelitrealfun.com.
That's right, medium rare. Yeah, the feelitrealfun.com. Yes. Yeah, I actually thought about medium rare today. There was a young being that walked in front of the BMW. And I was like, look at that one. I wonder where medium rare is.
Well, Yaz just said Hamish managed to get the loogie, so they're all house isolating at home.
Oh, but how did he get it? Did he charge into the crowd?
The bull?
Yeah, the bull does.
No, it's not. Angus got it.
Oh, Angus
Hamish
got it.
got it.
Well, if Hamish got it. Yeah, if Hamish got it, then Angus got it.
Well, probably.
Yeah.
Probably all got it.
Yeah. No, he didn't. He was exposed to it. Well, how do you know he didn't get it? Yeah, it just keeps growing and glowing.
Growing and glowing.
They used to sell those, when you'd walk into the, what was it, the old 7-Eleven in the old country, and you go into the loo, and there'd be a machine on the wall that you put two 25-cent pieces in. They call them quarters in the U.S., right? And they had different things, bumpy ones, right?
I know what you're talking about.
They had something,
and
then they had ones that would